We'll come back to Ephesians chapter 5, pillar number 4, comprehensive care. Comprehensive care. It tells us in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 28, so ought men to love their wives as their own body. My brother, how do you feel when you're hungry? How do you feel when the weather is biting hard on your body? How do you feel when you don't put on a good clothes? How do you feel when you go out and other people look at the way you have dressed and they look down on you and you feel that you are not appropriately dressed? Well, it says the husband should love the wife as his own body. The way you feel is the way she would feel, more so being a woman, and therefore you make sure that you take care of her, you feed her, you nurse her, you nourish her, you cherish her, you clothe her, and you give her appropriate shelter. It goes on to say, he that loveth his wife loveth himself. Let there be comprehensive care for your children, comprehensive care for your husband, comprehensive care. After all, what's the money doing in the bank while the family is having need? What's the money doing there while the family is suffering? Bring the money out. The reason we're working and the reason we're laboring is to take care of the wife, take care of the husband, take care of our parents, take care of our children. For no man yet hated, in verse 29, no man yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. Even as the Lord cares for the church, as the Lord nourishes the church, as the Lord cherishes the church, even so must we do. Look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, I read from verse 7. It says, but were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherishes her children. A mother is to be a nurse cherishing the children. When we take children to the hospital and the nurses take care of them, that's an indication to us. That's a lesson for us. As that nurse is talking to the child, nursing the child, taking care of the child, to nurse the child back to health, that's what the mother should do. The mother should be the number one person that should act like a nurse. And then the father too. Here is Paul the apostle. He's a man. He was a man. And he's talking about nursing and cherishing the children. Look at verse 8. So, being affectionately desirous of you, affectionately desirous of you, affectionately desire of you. The presence of your husband does not annoy you, and the presence of your wife does not annoy you. The presence of your children should not annoy you. You should be eager, desirous to see them. You shouldn't be outside and people are asking, when are you going back home? Well, there's nothing to go back home for. I'll spend more time here. At least I'll spend a good jolly time here, happy time here before I get home. After all, when you get home, what are you going to meet? It should not be like that. When you go out, it should be that this is of necessity, that you have to leave your family, you have to leave your wife, you have to leave your husband, you have to leave your children, you have to leave your parents. This is necessity. Only that I must go to school, only that I must go to work, only that I must attend to this outside. And once you finish that, you're so eager, you're desirous that you want to go back home, because of the love, because of the fellowship. And it's you have comprehensive care. Look at that verse 8. So being affectionately desirous of you, well, we're willing to have imparted unto you not only the gospel of God only. Well, it's very good. The family wakes up in the morning and we share the word of God, and we have devotion, morning devotion, and then we have the gospel being explained to each other, husband to wife, wife to husband, and parents to children, and children to parents. That's good to share the gospel together, but also our own souls, because you are dear unto us. That's the attitude we ought to have. That the husband loves the wife so much, and the wife loves the husband so much, that you are willing to share your very soul with that husband and with that wife. And that's talking about comprehensive care. Look at 1 Timothy chapter 5. 1 Timothy chapter 5, reading from verse 4. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home and to requite their parents. That is to reward their parents, bless their parents, provide for their parents, for that is good and acceptable before God. What do you think? That a parent has educated a child to university level, and he has educated to a child to a place. Now he has profession, he has work, he has job, and now that child is not looking the direction of the parents, and the parents have to be, depending upon the handouts that come from friends, that come from neighbors, or that come from the local church. It should not be so. There should be comprehensive care. When you were young as a child and you couldn't provide for yourself, your parents provided for you. Your parents educated you. Your parents gave you a life to live, and your parents gave you a profession. Now you've got the profession. Now you ought to pay back. You ought to reciprocate. You ought to take care of your father, take care of your mother. In fact, it says in verse 8, but if any provide not for his own. You don't provide for your father, your mother, especially your mother now is a widow, or your father is a widower. It says, if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house. Of course, if you're a father and you're still young and you're working and you're earning money, you need to provide for your own children and for the whole family. If you're a mother and you're working and you're well placed, even better placed than your husband, you ought to make everything available. It's not that that one belongs to me, I'm the one that worked for that. It says if he provides not for his own, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Will provide for our own. I didn't hear the amen.